with this season of anime, there are a ton of good stuff making their appearances throughout this summer. We have things such as Takopi's Original Sin, Kaiju number 8 coming back, as well as a variety of other shows. But one show in particular snuck up on me, and I must confess, it has to be my favorite this season, and that would be the Summer Hikaru Died. Now, I had no prior knowledge to this series. I had heard good things, and I had seen volumes of it at Barnes & Noble whenever I'm making my trips there, sometimes with my girlfriend, looking to buy the latest Kagurabachi volume, or just kind of just being in that atmosphere. So I would see it, but I didn't really know what it was about. So heading into this thing, I knew that it was going to be more horror-based, but I wasn't prepared for just how the horror itself was presented. It's kind of like a psychological thriller, and I really do enjoy how they go about the things in this show. Before we get too deep into this video, guys, please make Before we get too deep into this video, please make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe. We are on our way to 20,000 subscribers, and I would love to have you around. One thing that for sure caught me off guard with this show is the premise. The premise, it is shown, the twist is shown 5 minutes into the show. 5 minutes into the show, we come to understand that, wait, this isn't the real Hikaru. It's this thing. It's an alien, demon, yokai, whatever you want to call it. This is not the real Hikaru. So that's the twist. And so I'm sitting here as an audience member saying, okay, well, what's the show gonna be about then? And as we go through, we have Yoshiki, who's the main character alongside Hikaru, who understands that his childhood best friend has been taken over, possessed, or basically replaced by this thing somehow. And it's him trying to maneuver his relationship with this creature. And I love the queerness of this show, right? There are a lot of gay allegories throughout the show, especially as far as intimacy and how gay relationships are viewed from other people. They live in a very small, tiny village, and there was one person that they had heard of previously who was outed. His parents said he was sick. Yoshiki does confess that, well, yes, he was a homosexual, but he doesn't really know how to, they're still young, they don't know how to confront these feelings head on. So as far as queer media generally goes, you don't see a whole lot of it. I just finished watching Interview with the Vampire. That show was absolutely phenomenal, by the way. Very similar in certain tones to this, actually. Not quite as violent, but still. But there are so many scenes where it is just unnerving, and you're really perplexed as to how this thing actually feels about Yoshiki, because the thing with Hikaru is Hikaru and Yoshiki, they obviously had feelings for each other. Hikaru more so for Yoshiki, but Yoshiki never was able to fully express that before he died. And the way that this creature works is it says, I don't want to kill you, but it lives as a human, and it slowly attaches itself more and more and more to Yoshiki. And it doesn't know that if it's actually, if this creature itself is falling for Yoshiki, or this is Hikaru's feelings, and this is how he felt the entire time, and it's just amplified. Most likely, from what I'm gathering, it's the latter, but it's so interesting to me, right? And you have Yoshiki going through all these different stages of grief where he outright denies it. It's complicated, it's weird. And you have this question brought up in one of the latest episodes where it's like, hey, well, your body replaces all of its cells every couple years or so. So would you say that's a new you, or would you say it's, you know, something else? Would you say you're the same? Now, obviously, this is different because this is a foreign entity, not your body just replacing dead cells and, like, you know, healing scars and stuff like that. I love some of the intimacy between the two of these characters as well. There's a scene within the gymnasium where Yoshiki is inside of Hikaru, and it feels like raw chicken, and the animators actually flashed an image of raw chicken on the screen, which after they finished this scene, they actually ate. So, I mean, let me know down in the comments below, how would y'all feel if someone penetrated you and they said you felt like raw chicken? Ladies, I would assume you would be mad, but I don't know. Some of y'all are weird. Also, by the way, the one paranormal investigator, is he not an outright reference to Denji from Chainsaw Man? He looks like a grown-up Denji. Am I crazy? Like, not just because he's, like, blonde, but it's something about him. I think it's his teeth, too. I gotta talk about the animation of this show. Oh, my God. Side Games animation. Oh! They're animating Kagurabachi. 2027, y'all. I'm telling y'all, 2027, late 2026, I'm gonna be there. They do a phenomenal job with the animation in this show, man. Everything is almost movie quality. Dude, it's weird. We are in this weird timeline where, dude, I remember most anime looked like hot ass, and there was like certain scenes that would look good, but most of the time they just didn't really look that good. Now we have these limited series where it's like, okay, we have an allocated amount of resources, allocated amount of time. Nobody wants to do seasonal shows anymore. No one wants to do yearly shows anymore. So okay, let's pack it in. Let's make condensed. Let's make the best of what we have. And every episode of this show is damn near movie. It is movie quality. It's fantastic. It's great. I love the lighting. I love the color palettes they use. Some of the shots where the camera's kind of off tilt and makes you nervous. The use of music. Sometimes when Yoshiki is talking to this thing and he's like, I don't know how I feel about it, and sometimes they can be very heartwarming. Or there are certain times like in the forest where Yoshiki sees that one demon with the long head. It literally made my skin crawl when you see it, just like it blurred out and you just see a movement in the forest and it's coming closer. I got goosebumps thinking about it. I don't know if y'all can see that. Phenomenal. I'm a sucker for good horror, right? By the way, go see Weapons. Fantastic horror movie, by the way. I would drop a review on it, but no one cares about my movie review, so I'm not gonna do it. Maybe on the side channel. But I love, on one hand, we have a heartwarming story about a boy and this deity, and on another, we have a horror anime, right? And it's so interesting. Right, it's so interesting because you take the twist away at the very start. So as a viewer, we're saying, okay, what left is there for us to explore in this? And it's gripping for me, right? Pause. Well, not really. Kind of, yes. The atmosphere of the show, you have this rural setting and some of this quiet tension. It's almost slice of life like, right? Like they're going to festivals. Sometimes they're talking about going on trips to the arcade and things of that nature. But there's always just something off. And you have the visual direction with some of the soft colors and calm pacing contrasting with these super eerie shots with creepy dread. Like one of the most recent episodes, he has this revelation that Hikaru killed this old woman, and you see this image of Hikaru and his mouth splitting open. It's just horrifying, right? Overall, the entire show is a message on grief and how to actually let somebody go and how to properly maneuver in your next relationship and not constantly make comparisons, because Yoshiki at a certain point comes to understand that yes, his Hikaru is dead and that the Hikaru he knew is nothing like this one, so he feels like he has to teach this one. Now, is he coping? Yes, 100% he's coping, because this is a fucking demon. What? Like, come on, like, use your brain. But it's hard, right? It's emotional. And now this is a question I have for you guys. Do you guys feel that emotional horror hits harder than traditional horror, like jump scares, violent imagery, and things like that? I'm very curious to see what you guys think. I don't know, maybe part of the reason that it is it's probably my favorite anime of the season, just because I've been a fan of the shonen genre for a very long time, and there are a lot of animes that aren't specifically shonen that I enjoy, such as Heavenly Delusion and Inuyashiki and things like that, but there's something, just the direction and the writing of this one, it's so tight, and I love it, right? I'm a sucker for horror. I'm a sucker for, obviously I talk about character interactions and character work all the time. So when that's the core focus of this show and having a dark twist on it, I love it. A+. Obviously, I cannot wait for Side Games Animation to work on Kagurabachi, because that information got leaked a while ago as far as the ownership of IPs and things of that nature. I think something else in addition to the horror in this show is we have a POV of the entity quite a bit. It's not just this big bad the entire time of the show. When it does something wrong, when it threatens to kill somebody or it acts out of turn and almost kills Yoshiki a couple of times, we actually see it sulk, we see it conflicted, right? It's not just one-dimensional. This thing has its own feelings and aspirations, but it doesn't know how to handle it, right? Even you have this conversation of death, like, why did I kill this person? Why is it wrong that I killed this person? Death is just changing shape. It's just changing form. You go from a body to a spirit only. who cares, right? And then it's conflicted, and it's like, well, I wouldn't want you to die, Yoshiki. And Yoshiki confronts this, and he's like, why do you think that? Other people will be sad. That's that feeling that you're having, that is multiplied 10s, 20 times whenever you do that to someone else. And so we have this morality, teaching this thing morality and how it views the world. So is it bad inherently, or is it actually going to end up being kind and actually knowing how to maneuver through the world, right? Can it actually replace Hikaru, or it's gonna be something totally different? We don't know. The show poses all these questions to us. So big fan. But yeah, I think this series is limited. I think it's only going to be around for, I think, 20 episodes or 12. I don't remember. I know it's definitely going to be shorter. It's not going to be as long. But yeah, if it's its own self-contained thing, if this is just like a kind of a one-off, I would not be opposed to that. A story like this, I don't necessarily know if I would want it to be a super long-running series, but that's just my personal opinion. I think we have a lot of stories that go on way too long. I love me some self-contained stories. Start, finish, it's tight, right? Tight, clear, concise. This is the story I want to tell. So I'd be more than happy with that. But let me know what you guys think about the Summer Hikaru Died down in the comments below. I'm very curious to see what you think. Anyway, it's been your boy Daffy, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this video. Please make sure you leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Y'all make sure you take care of yourselves, guys, and have a good one. Peace.